The F1 weekend in Bahrain was a bitter pill for Red Bull to swallow, and Max Verstappen has already indicated the F1 title is no longer in reach. However, it's the moments in which he said nothing at all that also spoke volumes. Then there was Helmut Marko, who didn't temper the situation with his own remarks. We dissect Red Bull Racing's Verstappen predicament in a brand new video from Racing News 365. Seventh in qualifying and sixth in the race for Verstappen makes for grim reading at Red Bull on a weekend it will want to quickly forget. But in the world of F1, these are precisely the points from which you must learn in the pursuit of improvement. Therefore, Red Bull must thoroughly examine what went wrong. However, the big question remains: will whatever comes next be too little, too late? At a point in time when there's plenty of speculation about Verstappen's future, this is the last thing Red Bull needs. The Dutchman has a contract with the Milton Keynes-based team until the end of 2028, but there are believed to be a number of performance clauses stipulating under which circumstances the four-time Drivers' Champion can leave. However, the specific details are not widely known. What is crystal clear is that Red Bull isn't currently performing as Verstappen would like. However, whether the team is currently falling short of any performance clauses also remains unknown. And given Verstappen's ability to turn in strong results in the troublesome RB21, there remains the possibility that his performances are preventing Red Bull from falling short of those conditions. On the other hand, the value of those clauses is questionable. Team principal Christian Horner has repeatedly said that he wouldn't keep anyone, even his star driver, against their will. But what is needed to keep Verstappen with the team is a winning car, one that he can fight for the World Championship with. Verstappen turned the RB21 into a winning car in Japan, so mission completed there, but the world title is further away than ever before. Even though he's still only 8 points behind Lando Norris in the driver's standings, Verstappen has suggested he is temporarily shelving his title aspirations for this season. McLaren isn't the competitor right now, and at most a participant in this championship, the Dutchman said somewhat cryptically in Bahrain. So does that mean that he's not in the running for the title? No, he confirmed. A notable detail in this is that Verstappen made that statement on Saturday. That was of course before the race, in which Red Bull again faltered in the pit lane. Of course, equipment goes wrong from time to time, as Christian Horner pointed out post-race. This time it was the wiring of the pit gantry. But the fact that things are going wrong with pit stops at all, where Red Bull was undisputedly the master until recently, is perhaps indicative of the team's current state and its potential decline. It's not just Verstappen's words that mark his growing frustrations. His deliberate silence at certain moments also speaks volumes. When asked by Viaplay if there's much to discuss after the weekend, the 27-year-old shot back a blunt response. "For you? Not right now. I'm not in the mood for that," he said. Coupled with his attitude and certain comments, his selective silence says a lot, but not once did Verstappen lose his cool, something that has happened in the past. He maintained a calmness throughout. Is that resignation? Or perhaps acceptance in the knowledge that something better is coming? Or at the very least, that something different is coming? It's not for nothing that team advisor Helmut Marko repeatedly voiced his concerns over the weekend at the Bahrain International Circuit. He expressed fear that Verstappen will leave the team if nothing changes. Weighty words coming from the 64-time Grand Prix winner's most important confidant. It's clear. We need to make progress, not progress in points but on the stopwatch, and with performance like we're delivering now, unfortunately nothing will come of the World Championship, the Austrian said to Sky Sports Germany. The concerns about his future Red Bull are significant. Improvements must be implemented in the near future so that he has a car he can win with. These can't be flukes like in the rain in Brazil or in Japan. There the track came to him and he delivered a magical lap. There needs to be a stable foundation. Marko has said in the past that Verstappen's future at Red Bull depends on the extent to which the team can provide him a winning car. However, the fact that he's now explicitly expressing that concern is another step further and one in the wrong direction. Red Bull appears unshakable no more. It seems there is weakness in its foundation, and as we know, every empire must eventually crumble.